all. So first of all, hello to everyone. Happy Bayram. I think today was really important day for Turkish people, right? So, first of all, let me ask you a couple of questions. As you know, we are going to talk about the IELTS speaking part. So let me first get your questions about IELTS. What's your ideas about IELTS, etc. And then I'm going to explain different things, different important tips about IELTS, and we can discuss about your problems also. Can you write in chat if you have any idea about IELTS test? Again, please. We are going to firstly talk about IELTS exam. As you know, the purpose of coming to today's class is basically discussing about the IELTS speaking parts, because I cover speaking and listening parts of your exam for practicing and classes as well. So we are going to talk about different information about that firstly, and I give you some tips about the importance of IELTS, why we take IELTS exam, and the things that you have to do, those or the things that you shouldn't do actually. Jihad said IELTS is for entering universities of another countries like United States. Well, actually, that's completely true. But the thing is that we do not just take IELTS for American universities, but also European universities, Turkish universities. Imagine you want to study your master, for example, in Bilkent University. Having IELTS exam is a plus for you. So IELTS exam is the English, actually, language exam, which is worldwide. So it is really useful for you, for your job firstly, and secondly for your education, of course. So, okay. Right now I cannot see anything else. Go abroad for master degree. That's completely true, Zehra. At the same time, we need IELTS exam for even bachelor degree in some countries as foreign student. Imagine that, for example, want to study or you want to study in another country. For entering into the university, especially having IELTS or having TOEFL is must. Yes, also for Turkish universities, that's completely true. So let me start with here. How is IELTS exam? Do you think it's hard or it's easy? Let me first explain that to you. And one of the really random questions, like common questions that most of the students ask me, which is much better or which is harder or which is easier, IELTS or TOEFL? So let's start with there. Of course, IELTS is much easier than TOEFL, guys, because of a couple of reasons. Firstly, IELTS sections are separated. So what does it mean? It means that if you're going to take IELTS exam, first you take your speaking part, then listening, writing, and reading. However, if you're going to take your TOEFL, all these skills are with each other. So even if, for example, imagine your speaking is bad, or your listening is bad, or imagine your reading is bad, you're not able to take any parts, because in your speaking, you have reading also, you have listening also. In your writing, you have listening as well, you have reading as well. That's why these kind of things make, I can say, TOEFL exam much harder in compared to IELTS exam. So Ramadan said, should we get academic version or general version for university application? Generally, they don't state anything about that in their website, on their website. Well, actually, Ramadan, it's really obvious. Like you are going to take academic exam because you use it for your academic life, right? So they don't mention it because it's kind of obvious. You have to take academic always for university and some specific jobs. For your master, definitely. However, if you want to take it for just visa or for going to some specific countries and you want to have a really normal job, like for example, your job is not really related to English, you can take general IELTS as well. So Jihad said for me a little hard, especially reading and speaking. Okay. I'm gonna explain them part by part, guys, to you. First of all, as I mentioned earlier, when I started the recording, I told you that IELTS exam has 4 parts. So what are those? Firstly, we have a speaking part. Speaking part of IELTS is not really hard because of a couple of reasons. The first reason is that the topics are really normal. For example, I ask you about your birthday, I ask you about your family, your friends, traveling, or sweets, food, dictionaries, studies, language, etc. So that's why I can say IELTS is much easier in compared to TOEFL, because most of the topics in the speaking part are the topics that we always use on a regular basis. That's why it's much easier for you to find things to explain in your exam. However, the important part about your speaking is that the purpose of questions are not basically answering the questions, is making your English perfect to answer them in a perfect way. So what kind of things you're going to use? You are going to express your perfect grammars, your perfect use of words, your currency, your accent, and at the same time the speed you talk, the tonation, your facial gesture, your eye contact. All of these things are really important when you take your IELTS speaking part. Let me go to the second part. For your reading, of course, words are the most important things that you should know for your reading. Otherwise, of course, it's going to be hard because it's reading. So you have to read a lot of books. And then we go to the third part, which is your listening. Listening is not hard. You just need some practices. So always we have a say that practice makes best. So if you practice a lot for your listening, there's not going to be any problem in listening part. But sure, you need some tips as well. And the last part is writing part. So in your writing part, what kind of things you need? You need feedbacks for understanding your problems. You need some specific important grammars, such as the correct use of time tenses, passive sentences, relative clauses, relative clause reduction, conjunctions, linking marks, and of course, being creative enough to be able to explain the ideas in your writing. All these things are really important for your writing, which you are able to understand it by joining different classes and practicing on your regular basis. So let me check the chat. Person said, I don't remember words, but issue when speaking exam. So, you know, Jasmine or Yasmin, I'm not sure. It's like basically you're able to memorize words based on, actually, I can say topics. So if you memorize words based on topics, you never forget them. It's like, for example, today I want to talk about family topics. You are going to find words related to family topics. You prepare something, you prepare a presentation, then come to the class and start speaking about family topics. In that case, you're not going to forget it. But of course, if you, for example, have long list of words, definitely you're going to forget it. You know, even if you are going to memorize it in Turkish, of course you're going to forget it again. So that's why whenever you are memorizing the words, try to make connection to the topics and not only memorize them, but at the same time listen to them. For example, watch some movies, try to find those words, write them down. You can prepare a writing with those words and try to explain them in front of mirror, use them in your speech. So not only reading the words is so important, but also the use of them in your speech. So try to listen, write, read, and at the same time use them while you're speaking. In that case, you definitely don't forget the words. Another person said reading a little hard and to memorize words. Well, actually, Zainab, you need to read more. More you read, easier you understand reading. So not only you need words to understand readings, but at the same time, the time measuring is really important. And for doing that, for being professional reader, you have to read on your regular basis. So every day, at least try to read 10 or 15 pages. So in that case, you are not going to have any problem with reading and understanding texts. There's no possibility to go to Iraq. Yes, Esra can be. With this kind of situation, actually, we don't have possibility to go outside for shopping even. Where are you from? You speak quite well. Thank you, Esra. Actually, I'm originally from Singapore. I raised in Singapore. I'm certificated from the United States. Will it be shared on YouTube? I'm not sure, but I think so. So guys, let's take your questions about IELTS exam. Is there something that you have problem with or you have question about? Jasmine said, teacher, my name is Jasmine. So I'm in Romania for Erasmus. That's perfect. I watched English video yesterday and working grammar, but when speaking, I forget words, or you don't forget words. I couldn't understand that sentence. I don't remember. Yeah, as I told you, Jasmine, you shouldn't memorize the words, guys. Even if you start memorizing people's name as well, you always forget them. So to be able to remember everything, you not only needs you don't only need concentration, but also you really need connection and emotion. So that's why instead of just memorizing the words by reading word books, try to go based on topics, try to find your memories and explain those memories by using those words. For example, I'm going to find 20 words about a family topic, and then I'm going to write a writing about my family, and then I start speaking by using those words. In that case, you're not going to have any problem with words. How can we improve our speaking for IELTS? Well, Jihad, we have many ways for improving your speaking. I'm gonna explain them one by one. Firstly, for improving your speaking, not only for IELTS, but also for other kind of exams, for your daily conversation, you need to speak more. So try to participate in speaking clubs, or find some foreign friends to speak with, or maybe some friends joining some speaking courses or English classes, so you have daily connection with English speaking. Secondly, the important thing is that you have to record your voice. So one of the practices is listening to your own voice after speaking. So you can talk, you can record your voice, and then you can start listening to that, like, what's wrong with my speaking? Basically, when I watch movies, they are different kind of accents people talk, the speed is different. So you are going to analyze your own recording and understand your problems on your own, which is really helpful. And thirdly, another advice that I can give you, musics actually help a lot. You can start singing with music, so in that case you can improve your pronunciation and at the same time the speed of your speaking. I want to go abroad, but I haven't my profession opposite, not have thing, and I can't find job. Eminem, I couldn't understand what you exactly said. I don't speak English, that's why very well. Don't think that series movie is useful for IELTS. To be honest, it changed. If you ask me about movies and series, I can say those, of course, are really useful. But the thing is that people generally, when students start watching movies or series, they just pay attention to the concept. Like they think that what is the content of the movie, what's the topic, what's going on, what they do. So they do not focus on the speaking. However, if you have some applications such as TED Talks, or I can say YouTube videos that is just based on speaking and listening, you have better opportunity to improve your language. So you open them, for example, when you're doing a sport or you are doing different kind of things, lying on your bed or doing other kind of activities, and start listening to them. While you're listening to them, your listening is going to be actually improved, and at the same time your speaking can be improved as well. But when you somehow use all of your senses, like you're listening, you're reading, you're actually at the same time, for example, you watch movie, you're watching the movie and you're listening to that, you cannot really focus on just one skill. So that's why it takes longer period of time to improve your listening or your speaking in that case. My advice for you is just concentrate on one thing. For example, if you want to practice listening, open BBC Learning English or TED Talks and listen to them. It's the best thing. Or on Netflix, for example, you can watch different documentaries to improve your speaking and listening at the same time. Shine said, how do you say Turkish name fluent? I'm shocked. Shine, I've been living in Turkey for almost 4 years, so I think that's kind of normal because all of my friends are Turkish, so it's easy for me. Is it really important, our accent for IELTS? No, Dennis. Of course, your accent is not important. You can speak in British accent, you can speak in American accent, you can speak in Indian, I don't know, Pakistani, Arabic, every kind of accent is it's not a problem. But of course, not wrong pronunciation. For example, you cannot go there and say no. That is the basic problem of Turkish students. You cannot say no. If you said no, there's no difference. Like both of them are no, and there's not a problem. But if you pronounce them wrongly, it's a problem. But accent is not important. However, the basic accent of those exams is British. So your listening and your speaking, I mean your interviewer or your listening exam is going to be held in British accent. That's why you should understand them before entering the exam. Sometimes I can understand some movie better, sometimes I cannot. I can't understand any of them. Yeah, it's based on accent. So try to watch movies from all accent, not just American accent, for example. Try to watch movies in British accent, Indian accent, Australian accent. So in that case, you can understand them all without having any problem. Hi, Aisha. I don't know which Aisha it is, but anyway. Do you work as teacher in Touch now? Yes, I've been working in Touch for quite a long time. So, a person named Holiday Demir, I think, how we can improve writing skills for IELTS. You know, writing requires a lot of practice. So if you want to improve your writing, try to write. If you have help, like if there is a person whose English is so good, or if you participate in course, or I don't know, you take classes from a teacher, feedbacks are really important for you, because you write something and you give it to your teacher gives you feedback, and that can really help you because you can improve yourself day by day. However, in other ways, it can be kind of hard. But if you ask me about improving your writing without any help, I say go with essays or articles, or academic articles. By analyzing at least 100 articles, 100 academic articles, you are able to improve your writing much better. because you get the main idea basically. Kadar said, teacher, you Turkish? I'm not Turkish, you know. If I talk Turkish, probably you understand that I'm not Turkish, but I cannot speak Turkish right now. But maybe one day, if you will be my student, probably. Yamri said, you look like Turkish woman. Yes, actually, my mom is from Middle East. That's why. However, my father is from Singapore, so I took after my mom. That's why. Okay. So, guys, do you have any other question about IELTS speaking or listening? Any kind of parts I can answer? Yes, Halil, it's the best thing if you start with academic essays or articles, basically on Google Scholars. You can find good essays, good writings, and good articles. So start reading them. Not only you can improve your writing, but also your reading, definitely. Are you a student or a teacher? I'm both. You know, I think I'm gonna be a student till the end of my life. Actually, I got graduated in 2017. I got graduated from English teaching and business administration department, but still I'm a student. I study international relations as my third major, I think. So guys, I'm gonna wait a little bit more for you. If in case you have any question, I can answer. How can we speak to take 7 to 8 score? Of course, Dennis, there are a couple of things that you have to do. Try to improve your grammar. Basically, the grammars can be used for speaking. Not all kind of grammars, of course. Like we never use past perfect continuous while we're speaking. However, present perfect, for example, some passive sentences, some relative clauses are really important for your speaking. Besides, try to connect your sentences by conjunctions or linking marks. Your words, the variety of words is really important. You should use synonyms. You shouldn't repeat the same word all the time. And how fluent you are, like how easy you can speak, of course, is really important. So if you pay attention to them all, I hope you are not going to have any problem for your exam. For interview, Jihad, my suggestion for you is just going on recent, like generally every kind of company, like I can say Aselsan or Thai company, Turkish airline, they have their own specific kind of questions for their interview. My suggestion for you is going and checking them all on the website and try to prepare yourself to answer the question in the best way, like about what you're going to be in 5 years, how do you consider yourself, what are your best skills, what are your worst or weakest points or weakest skills, etc., etc. So you can work on that. Well, I'm not sure about Texas universities, but of course they have sample questions on their website, definitely. No, Yağmur, I live in Ankara. I'm not in Eskişehir. Yes, Bushra, you can ask your question. I'm waiting for you. Definitely, write your question. I'm going to read it immediately. Bushra, from morning I'm explaining the same thing, and you say, how can I improve my English speaking skill? For 20 minutes I'm talking about the same topic. I told you, first of all, you have to speak every day, guys. Speaking is not something that you sleep one day and after, for example, 20 days or 1 month, you go and take your exam. Speaking is not such thing, you know. Even if you're a native speaker in Turkish language and you go to another country, live there for 5-6 years, after 6 years you literally cannot use your Turkish properly. So speaking is such thing, you have to use it every single day to improve it somehow. So if you want to improve your speaking, join speaking clubs, find native friends, or try to join different kind of, I don't know, English courses. Generally, C1, C2 can really help you for speaking, because in B1, B2, A1, A2, generally the focus is on grammar. However, in C1, C2, you have more opportunity to talk, to practice on your presentation. Special, like for example, for my C1, C2 classes in Touch, we work on presentations and speaking mostly. So you can join those kind of classes or other speaking clubs. Record your voice, work on your words, try to talk to yourself. You know, guys, the first thing which is really important is connection with the language. So if you connect yourself to English language, you're able to somehow improve your mindset, and at the same time your skills in speaking as well. So try to do everything on your regular basis in English, like write your daily routines in English, or write your diary in English, read in English, listen to English musics. So connect yourself 100% to English. So after that, you can see that actually you improved your skill to really high extent in short time. Do you important grammar rules while speaking? Yes, actually, I can say grammar is important for speaking, definitely, because without knowing grammars, you are going to make wrong sentences, and it's kind of problematic. Can you talk about PT exam? PT exam is kind of different from IELTS or TOEFL, I can say. It has different sections. Sections are same, but one of the things which is really important in PT is that you should be familiar to Indian accent. That's why you can start listening to Indian accent to be able to understand them. But PT exam is based on explanation and description of pictures at the same time. In your writing or in your speaking, you see some pictures and you have to explain them in English. That's why you have to a little bit work on that. Since today's class is based on IELTS, I'm not really go through PT exam, but maybe we open another session another day regarding PT as well. Bushra, actually, I'm recording it. We are going to upload it, I think, on YouTube, if I'm not wrong. But definitely you can see it somewhere on Touch website. So, is there any other question? Yes, Bushra, ask your question. I'm waiting for you. Yunus said, I don't know which expressions are slang, with which expressions are academic. I'm planning to take TOEFL exam, yet I have to get at least 114 in TOEFL IBT. So, well, Yunus, you have to not really, like, if you want to understand the difference between slangs and academic writings, try to read academic books. In academic books, you never see these slangs. So by reading more academic texts or paragraphs, you can understand the differences between the use of slangs and use of academic words much better. Do you know any TOEFL course in ESKİŞEHİR? Actually, I know Sinaf Camp, I think. but I don't know other institutions in Eskişehir, to be honest. So let me just answer the last question. How can we memorize word about IELTS? As I told you before, go based on topics. For example, write 20 or 30 important topics which you're sure that will come in IELTS, and write about each topic, like write 20-30 words regarding each topic, and start using them while you're speaking or while you are writing something. So in that case, you can memorize them much more easily. So I think there is no other question. So guys, thanks for joining. I know that today was holiday, but still you joined. And it was nice to meet you all here, especially Bushra, Jihad, Yunus. I can just remember these names. Thanks for joining and asking your questions. It means a lot. So I say happy holiday, happy Bayram to all of you, and have a really nice weekend with your family. Be safe and sound, guys. Take care of yourself. I will see you later. Take care. You're welcome, Shukriya.